Hey, what's up? Alex here. Today's video is going to be a little different because we're going to watch and respond to a video from Paul Hibbert. I briefly watched this video once, and based on the thumbnail that you see over here, you can tell that it's going to be about the Aqara S1 Plus. So that's why I went to borrow one to test it out for myself. But let's watch this video together to understand what this product is all about.
A mysterious Aqara-based dashboard is set to arrive in the UK before the end of the year that could well be the last piece of our puzzle to finally make us feel like we live in Tony Stark's shed. Because let's face it, your house doesn't look like this, does it?
You are not authorized to access this area.
All of the available information for this product is solely contained in a Chinese commercial, so I've been doing some proper private eye style sleuthing to find out exactly what this thing is before it reaches our shores.
Okay, for the version that is selling over here in Singapore, there are 3 languages on the packaging as well as on the manual. So there are English, Chinese, and Korean. So don't need to worry if you can't read Chinese.
Find the script just so I could dress up as a detective. Tax write-off. 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 I've literally had to Google Translate every single word of this commercial. So without further ado, here is everything you're not supposed to know yet about the Aqara S1 Plus. First of all then, this video is sponsored by Aqara. You would think that might give me a direct line to speak to them and ask them questions about it. Nope. For whatever reason, all of my questions are falling on deaf ears. So I'm going to take us through this advert to find out exactly what is worth keeping so secret.
Okay, first thing I want to say is, it's times like this, I'm really glad that I'm born in Singapore where I can speak both English and Chinese. In fact, I think my Chinese is better than my English. Second thing is, why is Aqara not sponsoring this video? Come on, I even have the product, I even spend time testing it, man.
This is the Aqara S1 Plus, and until now it has been shrouded in mystery for anyone in the Western Hemisphere, until today. I can now tell you that it is an Aqara Zigbee hub, it's a light switch, it's an automation controller, it's a voice assistant, a music player, a doorbell intercom, but above all, it's really bloody shiny and I want one.
Okay, the part where he said that it's a Zigbee hub, I don't think so. Definition of Zigbee hub for Aqara means that it should be able to add all the Aqara child devices. But from the app, it really doesn't seem possible. Even on the Aqara official website, it said that it's a hub. I really don't know. Aqara, please clarify this.
I've discovered a lot of its secrets from the ad using Google Translate, but I've also been speaking to Simon from HomeKit News, who lives over there and has already tried out the MagicPad S1, which is its little brother, its light switch shaped little brother. And if you don't already realise why I might be excited about this thing, that might give you a clue. That device and this one, the S1 and the S1 Plus, are both light switch replacements. They wire directly into your light switch main ring and are therefore powered by it, but also can then control the lights that they are connected to. I haven't seen the back part of the S1 Plus. I've asked Aqara, can I please see the back of it? They're not responding.
All right, then keep your secret.
Alright, so here is the back part of how it looks like. You have N for neutral, it's a must to put a neutral wire in. L for live wire, and 3 switch controls for your dumb lights. If you have any smart lights, then just wire it to L directly. This whole part is attached to the right side of the panel. You can't change it to the left. In terms of installation, all you need is the cutout for 1 switch. Although this is the size of 2 cutout, just screw in the 2 sides as per your normal light switch like the H1. To attach in the panel, go in from the top first, then come down. Below, there are 2 screws to secure the panel. There you have it.
With the S1, I have seen the back and it's a 3-gang light switch, and I can see from the documentation that so is the S1 Plus. Hello, Paul from the future here. I have since been told by Aqara, they have replied to my email. They're on a holiday. I should probably have remembered it was a Chinese holiday. They have now told me it's actually a 2-gang light switch for the EU that they plan to release. It's 3-gang for China and, I don't know, anywhere that has that shaped box, I guess. For the EU and the UK, it's going to be 2-gang only. For layman's terms, that means if you've got a double light switch, that will be replaced by this. You can't replace a 3 light switch button thing. Anytime you see yellow writing come up on the screen, that's me editing going, actually I know now, and I'll just put it up on the screen for you so you can read it. See you in a bit.
Okay, if Aqara has confirmed that the EU version is only going to be just 2 relay switches, then I guess that's the case. Over here is a 3-gang with 6 wireless buttons. I forget to mention that.
And possibly the most exciting aspect of all of this is that the S1 is already for sale, and if you go and have a look on AliExpress right now, it's only 45 quid. That's ridiculous. That's more surprising than that time that Spider-Man let Gwen Stacy fall to her death. It's alright, they always do this.
Okay, Paul's video like to include a lot of these jokes, so I'm just going to fast forward over here. Anyway, the Aqara S1 Plus is selling at 569 Sing dollars. This is a lot of money. But if you're already considering mounting an actual tablet on the wall for such dashboard controls, then this might be overall cheaper considering all the other works that you might potentially need to do.
Unlike a standard tablet that you might want to try to connect up at the entrance hall of your house or have on a kitchen wall, it's actually purpose-built, which means that it has the connections on the back for connecting to your lighting ring main so that you can use it in place of your 3-gang light switch to not only power the dashboard, but also so that you can use the dashboard to control up to 3 separate light switches. It also has USB power too, in case you're not comfortable messing with your electrics. You could just plug.
Yep, I think this is a plus point having another way to power this device. I will show you how it will look like with the USB-C cable sticking out. It doesn't look very slick now. Using a cable that blends with the wall paint color does help a bit. It's the same case with my Amazon Echo Show 15. You need to sort of be okay with the cable this way.
Just plug the thing in. As I've already said, it's also a Zigbee hub, which means that, because it's Apple HomeKit ready, you could connect a whole bunch of Aqara's Zigbee devices to it, and Apple HomeKit will have access to all of them. There are also, and this is probably more exciting, 6 virtual buttons on this thing that you can advertise to Apple HomeKit. And what this allows you to do is to have those 6 virtual buttons on the dashboard control Apple HomeKit devices, which means that any smart home product from any manufacturer that you've got in Apple HomeKit will be connected to that dashboard. You can press a button on the dashboard and make a smart home thing happen. That's awesome. It hasn't been expressly...
Okay, for this wireless button, he already explained for HomeKit users. If you're not a HomeKit user, you still see the 6 buttons on the Aqara app, and you can create automation triggers for all 6 of them. Okay, how about Home Assistant users like myself? Yes, we got that as well through the HomeKit integration. Let me show you the device and what entities are there. The 3 relay switches and the 6 buttons. Home Assistant users should know what to do from here to control any of your devices. I will just show some demo, activating my TV time scene here where it turns on the TV backlight and the fan. It is able to close my window shades, switch on the lights. Okay, that's whatever you have inside Home Assistant.
Stated yet that it will work with Google Home and Amazon Alexa, but every light switch I have had from Aqara so far does, so I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. Hello, Paul from the further future here. You can tell because of the futuristic background. I've just had a reply from Aqara to say that the whole music thing, they have like their own Chinese music distribution service similar to Spotify. When this thing comes to the UK, it won't have Spotify yet. It's something they're working on, and they've told us to watch this space. Whether or not that will come to fruition is anybody's guess. On with the next thing that whatever Paul from the past was going to say. This is a device that will...
Okay, first of all, he mentioned about Google Home. No, all wireless switches from Aqara cannot be seen in Google Home. So same case here, you can only find the 3 relay switches and not the wireless buttons. Next thing, the music player. So far, there's nothing over here that I can configure. I believe it's for some music streaming services only in China like QQ Music. I don't think you will want to listen to music coming out from the speakers from the Aqara S1 Plus anyway. Unless it's able to play through your home speakers like Sonos, then I would say this feature is good.
Not only link to your Aqara products to show you things like your cameras and doorbell, but it'll also act as a smart home dashboard for controlling lights around the house, your aircon, smart home scenes, and possibly music too. But with Aqara also bringing Matter to their latest M3 hub, you could theoretically add, for example, a Philips Hue light to the Aqara M3 hub and then assign it to one of the virtual switches, and then be able to control Philips Hue lights using this dashboard. If I can get this thing to control all of my Matter devices, and I can use it as an intercom for my front doorbell, I think I might love it more than Batman loves the Joker. Seriously, have you seen that? If you just swap the music out, you can actually feel the sexual tension in your lawn.
Yes, for Aqara devices that are added onto the Aqara app. So what do I mean by that exactly? So I got the Aqara G4 doorbell here. Once I press the doorbell, you can see the S1 Plus automatically pull up the footage, and then you are able to do your two-way comms because it has a microphone and speakers on it. The same should apply to any Aqara cameras you should see on the dashboard. Tap on it to see the live view, but only one at a time. For smart lights, you can have 2 sliders, one for the brightness control and one for the color temperature. For curtains, you also have the slider to control it. Again, provided that these devices are inside the Aqara app, not in HomeKit or Home Assistant, okay? He mentioned about Matter support, then it's able to control the Matter devices. I really don't think that's happening unless you have the Aqara M3 hub. But for now, I actually still don't know how do you actually add Matter devices into the Aqara app.
The dashboard is customizable using their smart home app, and it looks like it's really easy to use. You can get it to display things like the local weather and give you access to your smart home devices, such as the Aqara E1 blind, for example, or perhaps one of the Aqara ceiling lights, so you could adjust the brightness and color temperature. Just as an aside, if there's one thing I've learned from Aqara's advert, it's that no matter how nice your house is, your kids will still smear their greasy fingers and face all over it. Clean your windows, Peng Shangbo.
Sponsorship cancelled. Sponsorship cancelled. Sponsorship.
Other things that can be added to this panel are things like the TVOC sensor, which measures air quality. You can also add things like aircon if you have an Aqara controller for your aircon, such as their M3 hub. This looks really cool, I really like this. Simon also showed in his video that you can use intelligent load mode with the light switches. This is an important thing if you have smart bulbs in your actual sockets because you don't want to keep cutting power to them, especially if they're Zigbee bulbs and they're part of a mesh. So intelligent load mode ensures the bulbs always have power, even if your wife comes and turns the switch off. And what happens instead is you can create a routine that when the button is pressed, the routine tells the bulb itself to turn on and off. This is really cool, and it's something that a lot of manufacturers haven't thought of. You can also change the name and icon for each switch to something more relevant and pretty, and Aqara have given you a bunch of themes to choose from to suit your style. Though I don't see any Star Trek or Star Wars themes, which has made Lord Vader very sad. Hello, darkness.
Okay, something I want to correct over here. He mentioned that the dashboard is configured on the Aqara app. This is only true for the S1, not the S1 Plus. All the customization of dashboard is done on the S1 Plus device itself. I tap on the home board, choose manage. From there, I can edit my current board, tap on add card, then I'm able to choose what devices, what scenes. Magic Space allows you to put weather and clock. As for the themes, you can then do it on the Aqara app. So I will just show you some of them. To be honest, I think they really look cool on the wall. At least something interesting going on if you have a big empty wall.
And because this is an Aqara system, you could also answer the door by unlocking it directly on the dashboard. use my smart home lock and unlock the door using the dashboard. How cool is that? But perhaps most interestingly of all, it has a 4-mic linear array for doing whole voice command stuff. Are they gonna connect that to Siri and Amazon Alexa and Google Home? I don't know. It will.
Aqara has introduced a co-pilot feature in their app, so I believe it's not difficult to come up with their own voice assistant like what all the robot vacuum manufacturers have done. But I actually have no idea how to trigger the voice assistant. Okay, I just searched on YouTube and saw this video where this guy managed to control a device via voice assistant. Maybe it's only available in the China version, I'm not sure. If anybody knows, can share in the comments below.
I did not expect that to work. Huh! As with most dashboards, you can also upload up to 50 meg of your own photos and use them as either a screensaver or backgrounds or both. And now for the elephant in the room. He's here every week. The elephant in the room. This thing is almost definitely, I say almost definitely, it will require a neutral wire at your light switch. Why is that a problem, you dumb idiot, stupid idiot, Brit idiot, moron? I've got a neutral wire at every light switch in my house! Yes, congratulations, America. Everyone in America has a neutral wire at their light switch. Unfortunately, just like England's weather, our light switches are bland. We don't have neutral wires at the light switch. It's a nightmare. I don't know why. Why is this a thing? Our electricians will come and install one.
Okay, it's the same case over here in Singapore. By default, there are no neutral wire on all the switches. There are neutral wire at all the heated switches and power sockets, so you can loop it over from there. That's why you can see that I'm able to power it on at the switch outside my bathroom.
Install one for you, they just have to run it from the ceiling rose back to your light switch, but this will cost anywhere between about £70 and £500, apparently. This all depends on how easy it is for them to route it through your wall cavity. If it's very difficult, it's going to cost you a lot of money. As I said before, there is a USB power supply on it, but it's underneath. They haven't put it on the back. This means that you won't be able to hide the cable if you do want to wire this thing up using a standard plug. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I am super excited about getting my hands on one of these things, and as soon as I do, I shall look to make another video to talk about my hands-on experience. In the meantime, this is just an exciting up-and-coming thing that will hopefully be just as sexy on my wall as it looks in Peng Shanbo's house. Clean your windows.
Sponsorship cancelled.
As usual, a massive thank.
Okay, and that's all from his video. I'd like to add some of my own closing thoughts about this device. Obviously, I'm not as amazed as Paul over the Aqara S1 Plus. To me, I see it as just a wall-mounted smart panel. Tuya has it, much bigger screen, but also more expensive. Then there is also the Sonoff NS panel, which I covered before and still using it now. Okay, so the Aqara S1 Plus is for who? As always, it depends on what smart home systems you are using. For Apple HomeKit users, you have the strongest case here because you have Aqara devices sitting inside the Aqara app, and the wireless buttons allows you to control the other HomeKit devices. The pairing with the Aqara G4 doorbell is really nice, I love that. And placing it beside the front door acts like a door viewer. For Google Home, I won't recommend this unless you only have Aqara devices inside your Google Home setup. For Home Assistant, you can consider this if you don't want to go through the hassle of creating a custom dashboard or doing all the drilling works that's required to mount the tablet onto a drywall. This is something really easy that just replaces one of your switches cut out. But because Home Assistant users won't have Aqara devices sitting inside the Aqara app, you can only make use of the wireless buttons to run your automations. Okay, so that's the Aqara S1 Plus. If you're interested to buy this, you can use the link in the description. And shout out to HomeSmart for lending me one to test it out. Before I end this video, as usual, I'm going to do some giveaway. This time is my wool felt coasters. You can choose square or round shape, very special looking. They come in a bundle of 5, so total giving away 5 sets. So just like and comment in this video to let me know. Next video is on Wi-Fi 7 mesh routers. See you there. Bye.